The Quran clearly says.
Hamish, what's the age of consent?
My name is not Hamish.
It's not. I thought you were Scottish.
No, I'm not Scottish.
Scottish.
Are you Irish?
No. But these brothers, your brothers here, I've asked them a simple question. The question is, what is the age of consent in Islam? That's all I've asked them, but they won't answer. They pointed me to you, Hamish.
It's in the Quran, the age of consent.
Is it? Well, what is it?
The verse in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned that when you look after the orphans, you look after the orphans.
Sorry, you have to.
When you look after the orphans, you know,
orphans, yeah, sorry.
So you give them their wealth back when they reach the age of puberty or the age of marriage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the ulama derive from that the age of marriage when a person reaches the age of puberty. However,
this varies.
but that's not enough age of puberty. Because why? Sometimes a girl can reach the age of puberty, but she's not mature enough.
Yeah.
Likewise, the vice versa. Someone can reach the age of maturity, but has not reached the age puberty. You with me?
Yeah.
And the age puberty, the age puberty, there's three signs for the age puberty. As for the woman, there's three. When there's the pubic hair, or when her breasts are growing, and likewise the wet dream. Okay? That's the age of puberty. So the ulama, like Sayyid Tabari, may Allah have mercy upon him, Ibn Kathir, said same thing. When they reach the age of puberty. But that's not enough. Imam Shafi'i said, age of puberty is not enough because the person has to be mature enough, likewise, to understand. Yeah, mentally. So the ulama derive it has to be mentally and physically ready. Yes.
So there's not a set age then?
No, because what Islam teaches you, no, there's no set age. In Islam, you're not allowed to sleep with the babies. Of course, you're not allowed.
What about Ayatollah Khomeini?
He's a shaitan.
What about Ayatollah Khomeini?
He's a shaitan, he's a shaitan.
He wrote a book.
I just asked him a question.
He wrote a book.
What's the
Sex
Are you
with
preaching or
children,
talking?
Sex with children and animals.
That's good.
Children and animals.
He's a Satan.
Send him to Denmark.
He's a
Or Holland, where they have hotels.
It is like me saying he's a Muslim.
He's not
He's
Muslim.
closer to Islam than you.
That is like the Mormons saying they're Christians.
You don't know about
No, hold on a minute. KK is more close to Islam and Christianity than you.
maybe they are.
Yeah, so
What is the age of consent in the
Are you
Bible?
saying the Shias aren't closer to Muhammad than you?
no way. Shia, they are far
not
away.
closer to you than Muhammad.
They are far away. Anyway, let's
Did
just
not Ali write down when he was with Muhammad?
Ali's not a Shia.
Didn't he write down when he was with Muhammad?
Ali's not a Shia.
Sorry, that was a subject. Can you ask me now, what is the age of marriage in the Bible? Same question.
I don't think there is one. I don't think there was one.
So any country.
I don't know. I don't know.
What we have to understand here, Islam teaches you that is a universal religion. Why? Because, hear me out, let me finish my point to understand.
But you've got to be Arabic to understand it.
No, you don't have to be Arabic to understand it. Like, no, I don't have to be Arabic to understand there is one God. You have to be Arabic to understand that. Anyway, let's understand. Universal.
You don't have to.
You do, otherwise you can't understand.
You know,
He's not Arabic. Majority of the Muslims are non-Arabs, for your information.
Please.
The Arabs are a minority.
Actually, please. But listen, Islam.
Muslims are not Arabs.
Yalla, bismillah.
You've got to be to understand.
Let's catch this guy because I want to catch people.
Because you've got to want an Arab world. You've got to want an Arab
Stick to the age of
world.
consent.
Stick to the player point. So Islam, to show you what is universal religion, because we know historically speaking that nations, they had a different culture and different of ways how to determine when the girl or the boy are able to get married. So Islam leaves that open for the mankind. However, Islam gives you criteria. لا ضرر ولا ضرار. You're not allowed to harm yourself or harm others. Okay? For example, if the whole world became British or French, there will be oppression amongst other nations. Because some nations, they function according to their culture. For example, if you go to Eritrea or Ethiopia or other African countries, the age of marriage is lower than Britain. You understand? Because why? Those girls there or the boys is completely different. And Islam, what you have to understand, in Islam, people's culture, let me repeat it, people's culture can be part of Islamic legislation. You with me? That shows you Islam did not come to Arabize the people. Because if Islam came to Arabize the people, then everyone should follow the culture of the Arabs. However, Islam, if your culture does not go against Islam, the teaching of God, then you're right.
Can I pick you up on one point? And I still have to remember the first point. You say that the local culture is accepted. The local culture is respected.
I didn't say all of that. I said
Because
sometimes
you have to believe in Sharia to be a Muslim.
no.
Whatever
Before you
country
take
you
one
are,
step-
Sharia has to be obeyed.
Do you? Are you Christian?
Why do you ask these questions?
No. Why? Because
we're just talking.
I want to show you.
if I was a Muslim.
Look.
Because I want to ask you a question.
Well, I'm asking you the same. Are you a Christian?
Yes.
He's a Christian. Shamsi.
Difficult? Was that
He's a
difficult?
Christian.
Was it difficult?
But it's
Carry on.
irrelevant.
One person.
I wanted to ask you a question. I want to
Calm down, guys.
No problem. First of all, you completely said you have to believe in Sharia.
You have to believe in Sharia.
Look. I know now Sharia term is becoming a business for people. I know that. That's why you are using it.
No, that's not the reason I'm using it.
Do you have a problem with Sharia?
Sorry?
Do you have a problem with Sharia?
A problem with it? Yes.
So you have a problem with God of Moses?
He's not the God of Moses.
Okay.
Allah just means God.
No, baby.
He is
no
not
problem.
the God
no
of
problem.
Moses.
Okay.
He is not
no
the
problem.
God of Moses.
So when,
you must understand
let me
this.
finish my point, okay?
Right.
So when God in the Bible, the Old Testament say, kill a woman, burn her alive, whose God is that? Silence. Allah
It's
silence.
not
Number
silence.
31.
Yes.
It's not
So who's that good?
silence.
Who's that good?
I don't know which verse.
Okay, get that verse.
You show me the
Okay.
Let's just
no.
say- Let me answer. It's my turn to answer.
I'm
You've
asking you.
given no.
Do you have a problem
No. You
with
have,
God
I allowed you to
commanded?
speak.
Yeah, no,
you
no.
have to let me just
I-
answer.
I-
And you've asked me another
what's
question,
question?
and I have to answer
So
it.
what's my
Show
question?
some respect.
So what's my question?
You said, is it which God is it?
Yeah.
If it's true what you're saying, fine. God said it.
Yeah. So is that,
So what is your problem with
my
it?
problem is it morally good or bad when God said to do something?
Today, it's morally bad because we have Jesus Christ that fulfilled the law and brought the love of God to earth.
So you,
But in those days, they didn't know the love of God. They only knew law, like you Muslims that live by law.
no problem.
That's
So-
why you cut hands and feet off, because you live by law.
So in the Old Testament, when God said to kill babies and children, was that Jesus?
Okay, that's a very good question he's answered, and I'm going to answer it.
Please do.
Thankfully, Hashim is keeping quiet here because he's showing respect to his elder here. You see, for 400 years, for 400 years, God had warned the Canaanites, you are bad people.
That was not my question. It was
You
that
see,
Jesus.
hang on a minute. Let me
He's
answer.
trying to justify.
I'm not justifying, I'm telling you.
You're justifying.
You see, the Canaanites believed in pagan gods and a god called Moloch, I think he was, that was made of bronze. And the people used to put newborn babies into these molten hot hands of this god that used to be burnt alive. And the parents were screaming because of the screams of their children dying. And they used to play the drums louder and louder so that people wouldn't hear it. So God had them annihilated because they were doing terrible things to each other.
That was not my question. Sir.
Well, so
my
was
question
it God? Yes.
No, was
Yes.
it Jesus?
Yes.
So is Jesus or loving all the time or sometimes?
Jesus is just.
Now ask you that. Is he all loving?
Yeah, you have asked me and I'm answering it.
Is it all
but you
loving?
have to know what just means.
No, I'm asking.
Sometimes you might have to smack a
I'm
young
not saying
child
just. I'm not
on
saying
the
just.
legs lightly because that's justified.
I'm not saying just. Is it
Not
all
kill them.
loving?
Yes.
So when he was saying, Jesus said, kill babies, was he all loving when he was saying that?
Of course he was.
So killing babies, therefore my man is here, is the support of ISIS. What is the difference between you and ISIS then?
ISIS had, from that time, ISIS had 3,000 years of being civilized and knowing civilization.
Who's ISIS? You know who's
I don't
ISIS?
think he knows the ISIS.
You know ISIS?
But they haven't learned anything because you
know ISIS.
still live in the desert, you still
What are you
live in the
talking about?
caves,
You
and you
and
still
ISIS
want to
believe
cut people's
it's
heads
okay
off.
to kill.
You still want to cut their hands off and throw people off the buildings.
Yeah, I
This
still
is
kill children.
your Islam.
better than him.
This is your Islam.
ISIS are better than you. ISIS, we have to be just. I've never seen ISIS saying, let us kill babies. But you have no problem for the babies to be killed.
I'm explaining to you something,
That's
my
it.
friend.
So you have no
Listen,
leg to stand on.
Yes, my
Don't even
friend.
criticize
Because anybody
Islam.
knowing this will read it in the Old Testament and they will see that these Canaanites were the evil of the evilest
So babies
people.
are evil.
God warned them for 400
You justify
years.
killing babies.
God
You just
warned them
justified
for
killing
400
We have a
years.
Christian here justifying killing the babies, and he wants to throw a Sharia.
And he cleaned
Khalas, I
them
finish
out.
with you.
And you
Right,
see,
take care.
that
Yeah.
was how many
Yeah.
years ago, my brother? How
It's not that many years.
No, you see, we
you're
don't
justifying
live in
killing the
those
babies.
times. No,
You
no,
are justifying it.
No. We
You
don't
are.
live in the desert
You are.
now. We
You don't live in the desert.
civilization.
So you're better than
we don't
Jesus.
live
You-
in the time
Okay.
of Muhammad where people
No
cut
problem.
their hands
Are you-
and feet
no
off,
problem. Listen
let
carefully.
them dying,
No.
have sex with their wives in front of them
First,
as they're
you're a
dying.
liar.
No,
You're a liar.
we don't
You're
live
lying
in these
against
times.
Islam.
We
You're
are
lying.
civilized
No problem.
people.
Says that Abu
We are
Hurairah.
civilized people.
No problem.
We are civilized.
That's good.
We
We
live
are-
under
understand.
civilization. What
You-
happened
No
3,000
problem.
years ago is not happening
No
today
problem. No
by
problem.
Christians.
Are you more civilized
What
than God?
happened th-
Are you more civilized than
2,000
God?
years ago
My question,
is
are you
what's
more
happening
civilized
with
than God?
Muslims now.
Are you more
where
civilized
you're
than God?
throwing people off the top
He's
of
not
the
asking me.
building because
That's
they're
not asking me.
homosexuals.
Are you more civilized than God? Are you more civilized than God?
By the way,
Are you more civilized than God?
What kind of question is this?
That's my question. Are you more civilized
They're
than
very
God?
logical one.
Because you are saying we are more civilized here. Therefore, what happened in the past, it was uncivilized. My
We
question:
have
Are you more?
learned.
No, I'm asking you. Are you more civilized than God?
Because that's a
It's
statement
not.
of your God.
Anybody
That
listening
was
to
a
this
smack
will
for you.
know
I
that this
understand
is
that.
just such
That was a
silly
big
question.
smack.
I
Right?
wouldn't give
You
him
are saying you are applying your God was uncivilized.
No.
That's it.
by the way, Shamsi, before you go,
I said.
before you go, I want to make one point.
No, yeah.
That's what he said. He said we are civilized.
Read what it says. He gave the reason because,
No,
because they were evil.
let me
See
tell
what the
you.
reason God gives.
Yeah, in Samuel, let's read.
No, Numbers.
Numbers, okay.
The very first verse.
The Lord said to Moses, take vengeance, yeah, on the Midianites and Israelites. After that, you will be.
Stop there. So the reason he gave is because they were
You're
evil
evil, yeah.
people. The reason God gives is vengeance. Whom should I believe?
And now, brothers and
Whom
sisters,
should I believe?
now, brothers
Even
and
about Samuel.
sisters, Hashim, the
Hashim.
great
Anyway, Hashim,
deceiver,
barakallahu
he's
fi.
God's
This
great
man-
deceiver.
Quoted your Bible. What are you talking about? He just quoted your Bible.
Yes, and you're the second deceiver because
Is the Bible wrong?
three words, but they don't carry on reading.
I will carry on, no
You
problem.
don't carry on
Let's
reading.
clarify.
This is what you do, and that's why
Can I carry on
Allah's a little
reading?
deceiver. Allah's got a little medal that he's going to pin on it.
What I just did, as everyone knows, Shamsi always do. I used to call it clarification. I should call it conclusion. That's why I do conclusion. Because some people say Shamsi always advise people to study, but I always make clarification. No, I do conclusion. Of course, I'm a human being. I make mistakes without any doubt. That's it. Wait, not now, brother. Abdullah, we are ready. Just no. Look what I'm doing to show you that some of the Christians are hypocrites. They come here, try to speak against Islam. They say Islam is uncivilized. Islam is this. They think they have a problem with the Sharia. Naam. But hold a minute. Because now, Sharia of the Deen of Allah, Islamic legislation, is being misunderstood and it's been misused by the likes of Anjum Chowdhury and the other foolishes. So people think bad of it. However, to show the Christians that have no leg to stand on, according to the Bible, you're allowed to burn your daughter alive. You are allowed to kill babies. You're allowed to, they talk about homosexual. You're God, you're Jesus. So what I think the Christians now, they are embarrassed of Jesus of before. They are so embarrassed, they start utilizing the norm of our time as a criteria. Because you got Jesus when he said kill homosexual and kill babies, was he civilized or uncivilized? Because the guy said we are civilized now. So therefore Jesus was civilized. That's the Christians' application of their statement. That's why for the Christians out, عبد الله أنا أتكلم وأنت أخي. لا يا أخي come on please. نعم. What I want to show the people, and mainly I focus also on the Christians out there who are sincerely seeking the truth. That wallahi anyone study and analyze the Christians here, the likes or likewise David Wood, or the likes of what's his name, the other one, Spencer, I forgot his name, full name. The are liars, Islamic haters, and they are disbelievers in their Bible. Likewise, Christian princes. This person who always in his bathroom, hiding in the toilet. This guy, people say he's an atheist. He's a disbeliever. Why? The argument that he tried to use against Islam clearly go against the Bible. So if you reject it, you have to reject the Bible. You have to believe your God was uncivilized. So if we're civilized now, and what happened in the Old Testament was back then, therefore your God, I think your God, he was a caveman. That's what you believe. We don't believe that, alhamdulillah. But they say Prophet Muhammad lived in a cave. Prophet Muhammad was a human being. You don't believe God was a human being. So your God, he was more evil than Stalin. Everything's kill. So alhamdulillah for Islam, and Islam is a religion of peace. Sometimes in Islam there is time when you wage a war. Like now, the countries wage a war against ISIS because they know the only way to establish peace in Syria by fighting against ISIS. So there is two types of war. There is a praiseworthy war and there's a blameworthy war. The praiseworthy war, when you engage in war to establish peace. And that's what Islam came with, okay? To establish peace and to defend those who've been oppressed, okay, against the oppressors. I hope that is clear. And if you want to learn about Islam, alhamdulillah, we have some videos on our channel, DUS Dawah channel. You can check the videos, and inshallah we'll put many websites for our brother Abu Ayyad that you can read. Allah knows best. Subhanakallah bihamdik. And I want to clarify something as well, that the way I spoke to that guy, if there was another Christian guy who was sincere, I would speak to him nicely. But those guys, they are here to lie against Islam. So I have to speak to them differently. Barakallahu fikum. Tafaddalu.